Let's bring in Hatem Dhiab, managing partner at Gerber Kawasaki. Hatem, thank you very much for joining us. What are prospects for passage in the Senate of that legislation that marijuana investors have pinned their hopes on for so long?
Good morning, Paul. Thank you for having me. Good to be on Bloomberg. Listen, there is, I don't know what the hopes are, but there is 3 different competing bills right now on the floor of the Senate. The Congress passed the MORE Act last week, but Schumer has another bill called the COW Act, and we already have the SAFE Act that was passed a while ago. And frankly, none of them have overwhelming support. So I hope the Democrats do not really screw this up once again and leave us with another year with no legalization. So it really rests with Senator Schumer, who basically has the task of figuring out which bill can pass and really get some Republican support.
It's difficult to imagine that this is a priority for either party in the U.S. Congress. Would you agree?
I mean, there is a lot of things happening, obviously, right now with the Ukraine and so forth, and obviously this whole, the divide between the 2 parties is so great. But ultimately, I think this bill, they can unite both parties. Both Republicans and Democrats want it. We have midterms this year, so hopefully that will gather some momentum into November, and with the hope that the Democrats want something to be done.
Okay, you've got 3 picks in this sector: Curaleaf, Trulieve, Cannabis, and TerrAscend Corporation. Are those companies profitable through their operations in states where the product is legal?
Yeah, so we definitely like the multi-state operators, all of these companies are. Trulieve is profitable. They all growing, their revenue between 20 and 30%. Margins also are very, very healthy. Trulieve is Curaleaf is the biggest one in the space, mostly in Florida, which is only a medical state right now, but probably will become recreational next 2 or 3 years. But also Trulieve is a great company that is also very well run by CEO Kim Rivers. And TerrAscend is a smaller one, and the one that we like the most because they have they will operate in New Jersey, which is going to become recreational this week, or hopefully the next couple of weeks, but also a very well-run company.
All of them trade on the over-the-counter market in the United States. Do you see them someday migrating to a larger stock exchange?
Yeah, this is why legalization is so important, right? So all these cannabis companies that trade in the U.S. are actually listed in Canada. So what happens is, one, you don't get, because there is no federal legalization, you don't get any institutional support for these stocks. So in other words, because they're Canadian listed, they don't get the ability to really have some large institution in the United States being able to buy these stocks because of federal issues. 2, also, a lot of these companies don't have access to capital, which really makes operations harder, growth harder. Their capital is much more expensive to get. And thirdly, just the fact that they are not legal federally, the ability to use banking and really transact easy is hindered. So as a result, this legalization will really kind of provide cheaper capital, ease of operations, and really improve the margins. That's why we really like the sector going through this year if there is legalization.
Those 3 companies do indeed trade in Canada. They don't trade on the Toronto Stock Exchange. They trade on the Canadian Securities Exchange. Those companies, again, Curaleaf, Trulieve, and TerrAscend. One question that I don't hear a lot about in Canada, maybe there's better intel on it in the United States, is what are the legal operators doing to the illegal market? One of the great hopes, of course, of marijuana legalization is that by selling the product legally, and in Canada, prices were set at a level that attempted to undercut the criminal market. What is happening to the criminal market as marijuana becomes so available on storefronts across the country here in Canada, but in some places also in the United States?
Such a great point, Paul. I'm tuning in from California, where basically 50%, it's the largest market for cannabis, but 50% of the market is actually illegal market. So what happens is because there is no federal legalization, because the taxes are so high and prices are so high, you got a huge amount of illegal operators. And hopefully, if we have some legalizations and more enforcement, we'll see that illegal market really dissipate or at least get killed, which will help these legal operators.